Hello, great people. The Nigerian political class, the ruling elite, have just been ridiculed by one of their own. Take note of the video that you are seeing on your screen. It is the video of Ozona Soludo, one of the sons of the incumbent governor of Anambra State, Soludo. In a moment, I'll leave you to watch that particular video where Ozona was dancing to a song that was ridiculing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Kashim Shettima, Governor Akpabio, Wike, including his own father, the governor of Anambra State. The song sings that shame unto you, Tinubu, shame unto you. All power belongs to Jesus. I will leave you to watch the video. Then when we come back, we'll be looking at the weapon fashioned against Soludo. We'll be looking at Ozona, his lifestyle, some of the things about him in public domain. Then we'll also be looking most importantly at the courage and the message being passed in that particular video, the courage behind it and the message being passed in that particular video, the message of that song and what Ozona may be trying to achieve. We'll be playing the video, dissecting all what needs to be dissected, looking at the political class, ridiculing the political class, because now, if you look at Nigeria, if I can put it this way, if you look at Nigeria, most times it is the children of nobody that usually ridicule the political class. If you look at Omoyele Sowore, perhaps he's from a poor background. If you look at Very Dark Man, he's perhaps from a poor background. But before you can see somebody that is benefiting from the system, somebody that is a product of the ruling class, to now be what? To now be ridiculing his fellow ruling class. It is one thing that it is not common in Nigeria. And that is where Ozona, the son of Soludo, breaks the ice. My dear people, let me take you all the way to the garden of Ozona Soludo. Let us go and watch this video as he dance and make merry to this particular song that mocks and ridicule top politicians in Nigeria. Let's watch this video. They'll come back for some great discussion. Let's watch it.
Tinubu, shame unto you. Belong to Jesus. Tinubu, shame unto you. Power belong to Jesus. Shettima, shame unto you. Power belong to Jesus. Shame unto you. Power belong to Jesus. Governor Akpabio, shame unto you. Power belong to Jesus. That's so we can shame unto you. Power belong to Jesus. Shekukumi, shame unto you. Power belong to Jesus. Shame unto you. Power belong to Jesus. Shame unto you. Shame unto you. Shame unto you. Soludo, shame unto you. Power belong to Jesus. Itamba, shame unto you. Power belong to Jesus. Mokri, shame unto you. Power belong to Jesus. Sefumahi, shame unto you. Power belong to Jesus. Tilomalaye, shame unto you. Power belong to Jesus. Shame unto you. Power belong to Jesus.
There you have it. I can't help but agree with Ozona Soludo. The names mentioned in that particular video, they are largely the problems of Nigeria, either by their conduct or misconduct, by their action or their inaction. So the list in that particular order, they are one of the problems of Nigeria. The problems of Nigeria is both of the ruling class and the people that are being ruled themselves. But talking about the ruling class, in fact, it is not just those in power, those that have left power, the Obasanjos, the Goodluck Jonathan, the Buhari of blessed memory, these people, less than 1,000 of them, or if you like, you say less than 5,000, if we are to include the legislators, they are what? They are part of the problems of Nigeria. In fact, the major problem afflicting Nigeria. So I agree with Ozona Soludo, but then I will come back to that. Let me speak about Ozona Soludo because it seems to be the weapon fashioned against Soludo, because the Nigerian politicians, they have a conduct, which is that if they are part of the ruling class, they won't want any of their family to intervene politically. They won't want any of their family to make any social commentary as regards what is happening in the politics, what is happening in politics or in the polity. But if you look at it, Ozona seem to be of different breed, and Ozona is now intervening, not in the manner of the likes of Seyi Tinubu, that they are supporting their father wholeheartedly. Ozona seem to be of independent mind. He seems to have a mind of his own, and he will take actions. Although there have been some things in the public domain that it will make you wish for, should I call it, a better Ozona. Sometimes the way we dress, carry a female handbag, the way we tint his hair and all that, but that doesn't rub off the fact that Ozona seemed to have a mind of his own. Most of the children of the rich people, what would they do? They would just be enjoying the loot of their parents. They would just be enjoying the assets of their parents. They will be, they will be living with impunity. But Ozona is not treading that particular way. For instance, if you look at the children of Yeso Wike, for instance, if you are to see them in public domain, they are living the posh life. They are kind of like accompanying their father to commission projects. They are accompanying their father to, should I call it important social events. They are living large. That is how the children of Nigerian politicians, that is how they live. They will be enjoying the spoils of their parents, the spoils of the office of their parents. They will be enjoying it and they will just keep quiet. If you like, make una die. If you like, make una perish. It doesn't concern the son or daughter of a Nigerian politician. So I would say kudos to Ozona Soludo for being what? For being a different breed. Now, let us look at the song that Ozona was dancing to in that particular video. The song's message, we cannot overrule it. It says, shame unto you. Look at the names that were mentioned. Tinubu, President; Kashim Shettima, the Vice President; Nyesom Wike, the Minister of FCT; Gospel Akpabio, including Chukwuma Soludo, the Governor of Anambra State, and other notable politicians in Nigeria. What I can say is that the message of that particular song is real, and it is an important message. Why do I say so? It says, shame unto you. Is it truly not shame unto Nigerian politicians, the way Nigeria has become? Anybody that have had the opportunity to rule this country, anybody that have had the opportunity to occupy one political office or the other, if this is the Nigeria that you guys can give to us, shame unto you. Is it indeed not shame unto Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Because he has been in power before 1999 when he was a senator during the time of Shehu Shagari. Now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu governed Lagos for 8 years. He governed Lagos for 8 years, and after governing Lagos for 8 years, he was the political, or should I say he is, because he's still the political godfather of the Southwest. He became the national leader of APC, and now he's the president. And he said that he inherited Buhari, that there's no difference between him and Buhari, that he took over from himself, because there's no difference between Muhammadu Buhari and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If the word of the president is anything to go by, that shows that he has been in the political saddle for long. You will recall that there is a particular image that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was at the back of Sani Abacha and MKO Abiola. That image is popular in the public domain. So Tinubu has been in the political space, has been among leaders of Nigeria for quite a while. So if this is the Nigeria that we can have, definitely it is shame unto Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself. If this is the Nigeria that we can have, shame on Shettima, a former governor, and I think a former senator as well. Shame on Gospel Akpabio, a former governor. Akpabio is a former governor, a former minority leader in the Nigerian Senate, a former minister for Niger Delta Affairs, and now the president of the Nigerian Senate, the number 3 citizen. So if you look at the impact of these people on the polity, definitely shame on to them. Shame on Nyesom Wike as well, from local government chairman all the way to the governor of Rivers State and now the minister of FCT. So if where Nigeria is today, amongst the Committee of Nations, I'm not talking about sycophants, I'm not talking about hypocrites, people that will see white and call it black, because perhaps maybe you never traveled before. You know, go no say Nigeria, they lag behind in terms of the Committee of Nations, among Committee of Nations. But if you are the type that you have left the shores of Nigeria, you will know what I'm talking about. In fact, you don't need to leave the shores of Nigeria. You know, they watch American film, you know, they watch Indian film, you know, they watch British film. If you are watching those movies, shame na so their country be. So shame on to the leaders of Nigeria, both past and present. And that is where I absolutely agree with Ozona Soludo. Shame on to them. The message of that song is real and it must be taken seriously. Now, the message of the song is also, all power belongs to Jesus. Now, perhaps you may agree with that, you may not agree with that, but then if you believe that God exists, don't worry. Remove that Jesus, replace him with God. If you are a Muslim, remove that Jesus, replace him with Allah. If you are a traditionalist, remove that Jesus, replace him with Ogun, Oya, Obatala, or anything that you believe in. The most important thing is the message being passed in that particular song. So don't rule out that song because they are mentioning Jesus, Jesus. You know, some people can be religiously crazy, and I've said it before that if you go to, the Western world, or if you go to other countries that are closer to the religion than Nigeria, if you go to Jerusalem, if you go to Saudi Arabia, definitely some of those countries don't have the kind of fanaticism that is in Nigeria. So don't kind of like rule out that particular song just because they are mentioning Jesus, Jesus. Now let us go to another thing, which is that looking at the video of Ozona, now Ozona has passed the message, right? He has blasted President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has said, shame unto you. The big question is, will Ozona be punished like the son of a poor man? Because if na son of a poor man, if na he do this kind of thing, if the ruling class are not in a good mood, that son of a poor man can be arrested. They can unleash the security agencies against that particular person, and they'll find one law, quote one thing or the other, charge the person to court, and before you know it, it may be a matter of public concern. But now it is the son of one of them. It is the son of a rich man, the son of an incumbent governor. Then the big question is, will he be punished like the son of a poor man? Your guess is as good as mine that nothing will happen to Ozona, because why? He is one of them. So they will just look at him as the bad egg amongst the children of the ruling elite. But kudos to Ozona for his authenticity. Kudos to him for his courage. It is not all the children of Nigerian politicians that you will find somebody with the courage, with the boldness, or perhaps the character of Ozona. But then that doesn't rub off the fact that could Ozona be of better character? Yes, absolutely. Because how you could carry woman bag? Let us look at it. If you are to carry a bag, let it be purely masculine. You can express yourself through dance, but this issue of carrying a female bag and all that, and some pictures that circulated as regards it's kind of orientation and lifestyle some time ago, that gives me a lot of concern. And we must say that charity begins at home. Charity begins at home in the sense that Ozona's father, Governor Soludo, with profound respect to him, is notorious as being of high moral ground. Now they arrest herbalists for Anambra State. Now they arrest all these people that he believes are immoral. So Soludo is a big moral police. So charity begins at home, because if you are a big moral police, then have you looked at your child? Have you looked at changing some things that could be better about him? But then that doesn't mean that Ozona does not have a future. In fact, I will tell you that don't overlook Ozona. His mate, whether you like it or not, is the son of the former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, two-term governor of Anambra State. Whether you like it or not, Ozona is mate. So thou shalt not copy Ozona, because what Ozona do, when you get away with him, if you do him, may you not see the light of the day again for Tinubu's Nigeria. So don't overlook Ozona. Don't overlook the boy. He's made, and also he may be of great intellect. I will not rub up that fact that Ozona that you are saying, look at his father. His father is a professor, right? And if he's truly the son of his father, look at his father's political trajectory over time. Soludo has done well for himself, and if that is anything to go by, if the intelligence of his father is anything to go by, I won't be surprised if Ozona is of great intellect. So don't look at him in such a way that you may think, oh, bad boy, or oh, he don't finish for now. No, I would disagree 100% with you. But in all of this, can Ozona be better? Absolutely yes. But Ozona, make every Nigerian thank you for this important message, and perhaps others, the sons of other politicians, will be courageous enough to speak about the ills of the society. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politics with Oshua Blog, Dr. Omosoladeji. Subscribe, turn on that notification button, catch up with my past videos. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.